So it's very, very quickly, because I think it's one that over the years, so many people have waded in, and it's propped up. You may have caught the news yesterday about pensions. Oh yes, pensions. Now, headline here says Benue Assembly repeals life pension law for ex-governors' deputies. The Benue State House of Assembly has repealed the law for the maintenance of former elected governors of the state and their deputies. Now, the bill was passed and assented to by the former governor, Samuel Ortom, in the twilight of his administration in May of 2023. That was last year. Now, the bill to repeal the law was presented on Monday by Douglas Akaya, the chairman of the House Standing Committee on Appointments, Public Service and Pension Matters, who represents Makurdi South constituency in the State Assembly. Now, all of this, drama I'm going to give a pause to Benue and come back to the states that really made this scenario go viral about a decade ago. Well, the states, you probably guessed it, Lagos State and Rivers State. Now, before we start casting our views and, throwing, very heavy comment and, blah, blah, blah on this, here is this premise, right? Please listen to this. Now, I know that in the US, in the UK, in fact, almost every government on this planet, when a president or a very high-ranking official retires or maybe vacates his position, particularly I'm making reference to elected officials, there's some level of protection that the state offers that individual. Maybe a car, to take the person around, maybe an orderly, like what we call orderly, maybe some sort of aid. Whatnot. But largely, in modern times, particularly with the U.S. Systems, largely it's just basically security, talking about, the Secret Service, right? Largely is basically security. They still try and go about their lives, but there's still some, government presence around them. Now, I don't have all the details, and a lot of people will say those details are shrouded in some secrecy. But in the Nigerian context, and we're looking at all the Nigerian states, when it broke out a few years ago, about a decade plus ago, about some of the things ex-governors should expect when they leave office, a lot of Nigerians, were very vocal about, these things being excessive. Things like, cars, to be replaced every now and then, every 4 years or thereabout, monies for, staff, for household, kitchen, chefs, security, all those things run into the millions today. Now, my questions, first is first. When it came to the issue of pension, a lot of people were very much against it because the benefits you get as a governor, some would say, hey, they don't have a problem with that. But paying pensions for working for just about 8 years at the most seemed very unfair to a lot of people. You have those in civil service who work for 15, 20, 30 odd years. They are entitled to a pension because some contribution is taken from their salaries every month, or ideally so. But an elected official, whether it be governor, deputy governor, senators, House of Rep members, yes, House of Rep members are also elected. Now, obviously, the major concern is the governors, but it could spread to elected officials. Should lifetime pensions, or pensions basically, should they be paid to ex-governors? Should they? Pensions. Remember there was that brouhaha. Oh, this man is an ex-governor. Now he's coming into the legislative arm. He's going to be a senator, a House of Rep member, most likely senator. They like to go higher, so they want to be senators. He's not going to be chopping. Let's use the Kapala, chopping from everywhere. He's not everywhere. It's not too much. Second question. What benefits should be given to former elected officials? So if you are opposed to giving or granting pensions to elected officials, right, after their tenures, so what benefits should they get? Because let's be honest, being the head of River State, for example, or Benue State or Kogi State is not particularly, an easy task to perform. All over the world, either they give them a house or maybe security or whatnot. I know in some other countries you already have your house, so maybe staff to help you with your other, in quote, ministerial positions if you are actually have to be in one, come to you, they accrue to you. And then, the third question, should the duration of a tenure determine the pension paid? Listen, this one is very important. If someone is governor for just 4 years, is 4 years enough to want to grant that person a lifetime pension? What if he gets only 8? What if he gets 8? Should 8 be the minimum? Once again, these are just conversations, one with another, talking about development. My name is Jude. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
And now, Hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
So 017-923-0003, 017-923-0007, 017-923-0003, 017-923-0007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X, at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Then take a stroll down to WhatsApp and Telegram, 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That's where you find us, WhatsApp and Telegram. As always, please turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or differential comments. Didn't see or hear, do not make mention of it. And very importantly, please keep your comments civil. The question I'm asking you this morning is this. 3 questions, all right? Should tenant officials, should elected officials get pensions? All right? Pensions. Should they? Now, if you are opposed or supportive of, right, the next question directly follows it. So what then should the benefits be for an ex-governor, an ex-deputy governor? What would you like to see happen? And then, if there's going to be a pension, should those pensions be based on the duration of service? Should the House of Rep member get pension if he spends 7 years or 10 years in that house? Should the governor get pension if he gets to spend 2 terms? If he spends only 1, don't give him. What say you? I'd like to hear. My 2.3. Good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hi, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Thank you. My name is Muriel from Africa.
Go on, please, Muriel.
Now, Jude, I don't know the person that came up with that idea of saying governors. I think that idea is criminal, honestly.
Really? You don't think the governors need, after they've worked hard?
What? Just look. The reason why, for me, I think the reason why they even say they are paying civil servants this pension, why they keep pensions, after they finish working, is because this person you take some part of their salary and you're saving it for them. It's just like a future insurance,
Okay.
saving for them for later when they are old and they can no longer work again, their bones are weak. So you can they use that one to live. But these governors and do we call them? They are public servants.
They are public servants, elected officials.
Yeah, it's just like you cannot eat your cake, Jude, and have it. They are eating their cake in full now. How much is their salary, Jude? All their allowances? It's just too much. In fact, for me, I think the money they get within 4 years is like the money a civil servant gets.
3 questions, all right? Pensions for elected officials. First question, should lifetime pensions be granted to ex-governors? From yesterday's story, Benwell Assembly, and I'm reading from, what's this now? Is this, okay, it's on China's television website. It's also on The Punch. All right, so, yeah, just check the newspapers. All right, Benwell Assembly repeals pension, life pension for life pension law, I beg your pardon, for ex-governors and their deputies. So I'm asking, do you think they should even get it? All right. Second question, what benefits should ex-governors, we're not talking about the governors now, the ex-governors, what benefits should they get? Their tenure is over. Maybe they were not re-elected, or maybe yes, it ran its full course, 8 years, all right, after their re-election. What benefits should they get? And number 3, very importantly, should the duration of a tenure determine pension? So if a man served only 4 years, should his pension be 10 naira? If a man served as the House of Assembly, right, for 10 years, should his pension be 25 naira? What say you? What seems fair for you as a Nigerian? 017-923-0002, 0817923-0007, 017-923-0002, 0817923-0007. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. 9.3 or there's a drop call scenario. Apologies. WhatsApp is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Jude, the problem is that people presume or suspect that former elected officials or theory or other activities they committed whilst in office. It has nothing to do with they shouldn't be paid for life or only for 4 or 8 years of work. I'm a writer, and each time my books sell or my author's books sell, we get a royalty payment. This is despite the fact that the book may have been written 5, 10, or even 12 years ago. The same with some actors who get royalty for life from a movie or TV series already done and dusted. That's true. That is very true. So we literally do the work once and many years ago, yet we get paid in perpetuity. But nobody begrudges us that payment because there is no presumption or proof that we stole or did anything hinky whilst writing or acting. Aha! That's where there's an interesting take. 92.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt. Hello, good morning. Oh dear. Hello, good morning. Very interesting 7:32 right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info's Hello Port Harcourt. My name is Jude Omamegbe, and this morning I'm asking a question about pensions. Well, pensions for certain individuals, not just for everybody. I read a line from yesterday that says the Benway House say, you know what, we're going to repeal the law, yes, that grants, lifetime pensions to ex-governors. And one of the reasons it says, look, right now, man, we don't have the money. Doesn't really make sense to be financing, that very big sustenance, for a very small group of people. How many of them are there over the past, 2 decades, all right? Anyway, so it got me thinking. I know that other states, when I mean states, I mean other countries, have similar welfare packages, let's call them that, for elected officials, because once again, being in charge of public affairs is not easy, but physically, mentally, and emotionally sometimes, because there are actions you will take that would be offensive towards other people, but they might just be, for the better of the society. But now at that point, at that instance, the people are unhappy. They don't want it. But hey, you got to do it because the powers that you wield, give you, that leeway to do things to that effect, right? So once again, let's review the questions. First one, should lifetime pensions be paid to ex-governors and their deputies? Do you agree? Second one, what benefits then should be given to former elected officials? Now, whether or not you think that they should be paid pensions, we're talking about the benefits that they will get after their term in office, after the 8 years. Benefits could include some of the things that we read about a decade ago, such as maybe a new car every 4 years, the maintenance of their buildings or wherever they are, every 3 or 4 years. In fact, there was one report I saw that even stated that the ex-governor, could have his choice of landed properties in, the choicey and juicy areas in the Federal Capital Territory. It was a very remarkable read a decade ago. Right, and there was an uproar. People were like, "What? Ex-governors? Why? Who? Why? What's going on?" And then there was also, the security. In fact, one even stated something about the bulletproof vehicle. Can't remember that. But anyway, the point here is there are lots of benefits. There's cooking allowance. There's even wardrobe allowance. What do you want? Do you want there to be, cooking allowances? Is that what you think should come? Was that what an ex-governor? Now, the message I read before the break, right, opines that, look, the only reason why people are, having their hand in a twist is because that they don't believe that these officials have been dutiful. They don't believe that they've been responsible. Because actors, creatives would continue to make money in perpetuity because people know that you did the craft. It's like saying, oh, Schwarzenegger did not act the movie Commando. Hello, I saw him. It's like saying Ramsey Noah was not in Merry Men 1, 2, and 3. Oh God, I saw him stream some platform anywhere. Wherever Ramsey Noah is, you just hear boom, 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 boom. Royalty, money has entered. Nobody's going to begrudge him for that. So what benefits? These questions, I look forward to getting to have answers from you.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Augustus is on the line. He's speaking to us from Trans Samadi. Augustus, good morning.
Augustus.
Good morning.
For governors.
Mm-hmm. How do you know they looted? Augustus, what proof do you have that they looted? Have there been investigations? once again, it's. I'm not surprised that we had that statement because the message I read, there's a perception of mismanagement, financial misappropriation of funds, right? Or misappropriation of funds, right? So there's that. Maybe that's why people don't want to hear pension. Maybe. Akanto Zimbori, Akanto, good morning to you, please.
Huge. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, Niger Delta. Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Gumi. Jude, why to me, the benefit, I know that some states have given those rights, or let me say privilege to elected officials, including the governor, elected chairman. Let me take an example of where I'm coming from, Canada local government area, wherein some years ago, the former chairman of council, he has the station then to empower, to give rights to privilege to the chairman, elected chairman, to have life benefits. That was about 350,000 naira months. Though it's subject to scrutiny, what is scrutiny? If you are not obedient to for example, if you are the chairman of Canada local government of PDP, and you are pledging allegiance to APC, they won't pay you. Now, if you are pledging allegiance to Wike and you are chairman of a local government, and you are not pledging allegiance to a
John, sorry, I can't. Wait, hold on, I can't. You are veering off from the. It's very simple. Should ex-governors get pension? Yes or no?
No, to me, Jude, it's not. That I use to build industry, cottage industry.
John is in Iwafe. John, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, you are very lucky that you are not close to where our hand carried you.
What?
We mistakenly thought you some more this morning.
What is the crime?
How can you even think of being ex-governor? Why? What did they actually do?
But it's been happening, John.
Yes, that's criminal. Criminal to even suggest that there should be paid.
But wait. How is it criminal when it's in the law?
Actually?
How is it criminal? Remember, John, if you remember, there was a former governor who said, hey, look, I am going to the house. I cannot collect money from this place and this place. So please don't pay me that money. The person wrote, right? Do you remember?
In the House of Assembly we have, I don't just want to use a funny language. How on earth would the House of Assembly member sponsor a deal to allow them pay a local a governor? Good. I think your dad is a civil servant. If your father is a state civil servant, that your father retired when they paid him gratuity. I'm not talking about pension. I'm talking about gratuity. Governors don't pay. They don't see. Some of those retirees died before they even talk of being their gratuity. So why should the governor be paid when they refuse to pay others? In fact, what did they even do for them to be paid the salary at best? You come to a government house, you feed on people's taxpayers' money, you buy car with taxpayers' money, you enjoy all the luxuries, you stay in a free house, you don't pay NEPA bill. At the end of the day, you leave and you say that you still pay you. If any governor is receiving such salary, that governor should be in Kuje. And okay, dude, look at some of them are nice senators.
Yes.
They collect salary as a governor, they still go to senate and collect salary. Dude, what way? I bet you are very lucky you are not close to us. Though.
But I'm not the one paying them, John. I don't know why there's a threat of hand meeting me. I'm not the one. Hey, I just asked the question. Victor is in mile 3. Victor, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you. Jude, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, please.
How many years does it take to be a former governor?
It just 1 year. Because once you're a governor and let's say you say you're not doing again,
God bless you.
Let's go.
Thank you, sir. So which means I can serve for 1 year and begin to receive all the entitlements as a former governor for life, very juicy ones. And my father will serve for 30-something years. And there's the possibility the man may be earning 30,000 naira every month. And we are looking for where there is injustice. Oh, come on. Why are we not? Why don't we know how to reward people in Nigeria? Why don't you know how to encourage people in Nigeria? How can these people who we know we are having nothing, all of a sudden are voted into office, they build houses, they are living well, and yet they are still footing their bills. Meanwhile, those who were paid peanuts from the very first day they gained that employment, perhaps 70 or 80,000, and some of them may never get up to 200,000 their entire lifetime of working in the system. Some of them actually retire without having a building, a small one-bedroom flat for themselves. And they'll be paid 30,000 naira per month, and they can't even afford their drugs when they are old. And there's a class of people that even without the so-called pensions and gratuities, they can afford all the luxuries of life. And we're still footing their bills. I beg Nigeria, no could repent.
Zion is in GRA. Zion, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Jude.
Good morning.
The truth is, governors should be paid such amount of money, relatively as pensions, but not this demurrage they went through the back door, through the House of Assembly to be collecting. What they are collecting with what they did at demurrage, which is a criminal offense in a standard procedures. But if you say let's be giving them allowances or pension them, they need it. If these governors truly have no the technicalities, they will formulate pension laws to capture them, House of Assembly members, even ex-serving members, ex-officials of the state should be paid as allowances or salary. You see, when we talk about governance is beyond the shout we are shouting. There are indices, parameters that come with the money. Hey, finish for your money, go house. People with the information bring ally that will attack our economy, attack our defense, attack our education. I said, brother, governance big. Now when I enter there, man, see the integrity. I don't quiet now. And if they talk, they shout, they accuse governors. When I don't enter inside, I go mellow down small. Pay them to save your nation, Mr. Zion.
Pay them to save your nation. On WhatsApp, morning Jude, I have never seen greed played out like the immediate past administrations. How can public servants, politicians demand for pension for a 4-year tenure? Pensions are given to civil servants for hard work after 30 plus years of working for the government, not politicians who had swindled the state money to be paid for what service? Should we begin to tell them thank you for stealing public funds? To me, no benefit should be given to them as they have amassed wealth capable of feeding a village for 10 years. No wonder council chairman recently had the mind to place a court injunction to stop council allocation unless they are paid pension. Make una come. Kelvin Frank with that one. Barry from Bori says, Jude, one of the best gifts our present governor will give Rivers people is to repeal that law through the Rivers State House of Assembly and also refuse to be paid when he leaves office. Okay now. Okay. All right. I see what you guys talking about. I see. That is the height of greed and wickedness and inhumanity of our politicians. After privatizing the state resources with impunity, some are still ministers and senators, yet they want more at the detriment of the masses and society. Interesting. I don't think political office holders, especially governors, presidents, senators, House of Assemblies members, should be entitled to pensions. Now imagine governors in our climes, Nigeria, who control most of the resources of the state, wherein there is no check and balances as obtainable as other democratic countries. Giving them pension implies encouraging reckless spending after the tenure is over. The money they embezzled and misappropriate during their periods in office is enough to take care of themselves throughout their stay on earth. But because they aren't even investing or spending it prudently, they are insolvent in not less than a decade after their tenure is over. No pension, and no pension payment. Thank you. Interesting. No pension payment. We don't care. Don't give them anything. There are arguments as to why they should be paid. If you listen to Zion very carefully, governance is not particularly easy. We're talking about state and trade secrets that lie in the balance. Obviously, when an individual is the governor or is the deputy governor or is the president, he's going to be so you need to protect them. It's little wonder, like I said earlier when we started, it's little wonder that even in the American government, ex-presidents are also granted some form of benefits. The secret police, follow them, and those kind of things. So maybe that is part of the argument to protect national interest, to secure their lives and all the whatnot. But in the Nigerian context, pensions for how many years of work, for a lot of you, doesn't seem justifiable. And those sentiments, whatever they are, I think they're valid. Well, we'll put a break on our conversations here. Conversations will continue after the news this morning. Ifichiku should come through with the news at midday. And after that, we have the sunny side of conversations. All right, tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow we tend to throw things back. It's become my second favorite day. No, it has now become my second favorite day of the week. But Tuesday is creeping up very slowly, I have to admit. Later on today, with the UEFA Conference League final will come through. All right, and we'll get to find out if Fiorentina can do the Italians a huge favor at the end of this season. It's not been a very great season for for the Italian sides. It really hasn't been a great season for them. All right. Now, having said that, please do not forget we'll have the sports can coming through later on, and the night conversations with Great Sam. Let's talk. My name is Drew. Thank you as always for listening. Good morning.
Make I tell una tori we